me saying it.
Hey guys, I'm Jeffrey, physical therapist, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be a travel vlog. I recently went to Korea for a friend's wedding and it was a blast. It was both my wife and I's first time traveling internationally together and also our first time in Korea. Asian airlines always have better food. We had a layover in LA and we flew Asiana Airlines to Korea. They had Korean food on the plane, like bibimbap, and it was really good. We spent 5 days and 4 nights in Seoul, South Korea, and stayed in a hotel in Myeongdong. We chose to include breakfast in our hotel booking and it was clutch. The breakfast was really good and we had a great view. They had street food vendors all outside our hotel and it was bustling at night. I think Myeongdong was a pretty good central location and walking distance to a bunch of shops. Getting around Korea overall was pretty convenient. We used the T-Money card, the transportation card via subway or bus. The first 2 days we were there, it was kind of rainy, so we did have to carry umbrellas and wear rain jackets. I had a group of high school friends all go to this wedding, so we all stayed in Seoul, but in different districts. We went to Gangnam the first day and visited the huge underground mall, the COEX Mall. We went to that famous library, the huge library. At that mall, there were a bunch of stores, a bunch of restaurants. We ate lunch at this restaurant that sold bento boxes, and it was the best bento box I've ever had in my life. Every part of that meal just felt delicate, intricate, and it was delicious. I noticed that most restaurants in Korea don't accommodate a huge group, so no more than like 4 people. So we had a group of 5 or 6 and sometimes we had to be split into different tables. Later we went to this animal cafe that had reptiles, meerkats, raccoons, and alpaca. I'm low-key afraid of most animals, and especially if they come up to me. The raccoons were huge, so that didn't help. For dinner, we ate at this Korean barbecue place and it was very different than in the States. They had parts of pork and beef that I usually don't eat, like intestines, liver, tongue. I'm more of a beef brisket, pork belly, galbi kind of guy. We did have pork belly there and it was just a big chunk, much thicker and fattier, but it's still pretty good. Now on to the second day, which was basically the wedding. It was about a 40-minute bus ride from Myeongdong. The venue was beautiful. It was like up in the mountains and the food was delicious. The bride and groom looked amazing and they put on a great show. They had a great first dance. After lunch and the ceremony, they changed into their hanboks, the Korean traditional garments, and they had their traditions, which is great to see. Later that night, we ate dinner with close family and friends. After dinner, we went back to the streets of Myeongdong and had all the different types of food from the street vendors. We tried daifuku, which was strawberry and mochi, and we had tanghulu, which were like fruits, mostly the grapes, glazed with a layer of sugar, or I think something sweet on the outside, which made it very hard to bite into. And we tried the big seafood cracker thing, which is delicious, which is really good. Being out and about, I noticed that most of the places don't have trash cans. So whenever we had trash, we had to just kind of hold it. We didn't know where to throw it. I think that's similar to Japan, but for some reason, yeah, we couldn't find any trash cans. Third day, we went to visit the Gyeongbokgung Palace. We all wanted to go to a Korean palace for part of the experience, and it was free entry if you rented hanboks. There were a bunch of places around the palace that you can rent the hanboks from, and I thought it was pretty reasonably priced. We took a bunch of pictures while inside the palace and it was such a cool experience. There were great mountain views and just walking around. It was pretty comfortable being in hanboks. It was very flowy. After the palace, we went to Bukchung village, which had a bunch of cafes and they sold a lot of cute desserts, and we had like this real fluffy pancake. It was really good too. They had different drinks, different teas, and later that night for dinner, we ate with the whole crew. We ate gamjatang, which is like a pork bone potato soup, we had a big bowl in the middle. It's for everyone to share. And after you finish the soup, or most of it, you can actually add ramen into it. And after that, you can even add rice back into the pot and make like fried rice. So I didn't know that, but the bride is Korean and she put us on. You can't do that in the States. So then after dinner, we walked around Hongdae at night, and it was supposed to be the district where it's more for like the younger crowd, and we just walked around because we're not that young anymore. Now the fourth full day was mostly designated to buying souvenirs, buying little snacks, little things we can bring back to Houston. The snacks and candies at the convenience stores were actually pretty cheap. We also went to Costco in Korea, tried to pick up a couple of things. I know my wife picked up some skincare. They had some famous sunscreen, and they had a bunch of food that you can only get in Korea, of course. So my wife also got me another pair of New Balances. Right now, I just love New Balances. These shoes, they look good, in my opinion, of course, and they're great to wear, great to walk around in. I wear them to the gym. I can wear them when I go out too, so they're very versatile. In my last meal, my last dinner in Korea, I ate at the place just right across from our hotel. I believe it was called MDK Noodles. Maybe it's called differently in Korea, but in the States, they also had this restaurant, but it tasted completely different because we have that restaurant in Houston, Chinatown, and I had it in Korea and it was so much better. The portions weren't so big, but the noodles, the dumplings, the things they had in there, it was much better. And then the last day, of course, we mostly just got ready to fly home. I had an extra day off. I took an extra day off of work so I could recover from the jet lag. But surprisingly, I did not feel much jet lag in Korea. And also, once I got back into Houston, I think the key is to try to stay awake as long as possible until it is your actual bedtime. I would definitely visit Korea again. Something about traveling internationally is a lot different than just traveling in the States. It's a whole different cultural experience that got me out of my usual routines, which was nice. Thank you guys for watching this travel vlog. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. I will be traveling internationally again later on this year. If you guys have any guesses, comment down below where I will be going.